send you also that letter from the Chinese hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It's got their stamp on it. I just need some more explanations. I'm just
Yep.
about to type that up.
Thank you. Is this going to be painful?
With what I'm seeing here, the procedure itself, I mean, they will just take some blood and they will give you those antigens back in. They will be infused back into the body. So this will be like a blood
just
transfusion.
like transfusing, like fixing the blood and then putting the blood back in. Hi, my name's Nicole. On the 20th of December 2017, I was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer, Osteosarcoma. I was 27 years old and I had a 4-week-old baby. Everyone's pregnancy, it differs. I found my pregnancy particularly hard. I had nausea 24/7 for 8.5 months. I couldn't walk into a kitchen without vomiting. I would wake up through the night vomiting. About halfway through my pregnancy, I started getting a lot of pain in my leg. So it was just below my right kneecap. And I would go to my midwives, I would go to chiropractors. I went to the emergency room the night before I went into labour because I was in so much pain from my leg, and everyone told me it's pregnancy sciatica. When you know inside, like in your gut, that something is wrong, like, and you know that it's wrong, like this is a radiating pain from my shin bone to the point where I can hardly walk. But they just kept on telling me, once you have summer, the pain will go. But within the first week of her life, the pain came back with a vengeance and a massive lump came up on my leg. The pain was from this area here. So it was right below my kneecap. So that's how the pain kind of started. Then from that point, it was like a hot, like radiating pain. So it would spread throughout my leg. When I went to an osteopath, and he took one look and said, I'm not going to touch that. You need to go and see your GP and you need to demand for an x-ray and an ultrasound immediately. And they said that my shin bone was so thin that they're surprised it hasn't even snapped yet, that I need to immediately go onto crutches, and it's either going to be a bone infection or bone cancer. But of course, like, I'm not going to have cancer, like that's just ridiculous. From this point, I'm in a wheelchair with the leg piece up with a newborn baby. I'm just going to tell you exactly what it is. It's cancer. It's really aggressive. It's rare. We're going to hit it with everything that we have. You will be violently ill. Like, you will be on 3 heavy forms of chemo. And then I got like wheeled out and I got wheeled in front of this girl who would have been like 16 with a full bald head, no eyelashes, no eyebrows, and it was just like the most confronting thing. She was happy. And it was like seeing her with her mum happy, even though she was so sick. And I was like, you know what? I can do that too. Like, and I just turned to mum and I just said, I can't do this without you. They ran through what the treatment was going to be like and how intense it would be, that there would be, out of every 5 weeks, 2 full weeks where I would have to be living in the hospital, that normally women who undergo such heavy chemotherapy, they will harvest eggs so that you can have IVF treatment after. But because I just had summer, I didn't have any to give. Even if it's just Summer and I, Summer is more than enough for me. And I'm lucky that, thank God, I'm so lucky that I have her, even though so much has fallen apart and like my heart was broken and my relationship just a train wreck is an understatement. I have her and she is so amazing. I don't need to go and do the test to see if I can have another child because it doesn't matter because I have her. It was weird, like once I had Summer, it was like I just knew everything what to do. I don't know, it's just like we instantly bonded. I just knew it was just so easy. Breastfeeding was really easy. So finding out that I was sick and then them trying to push me onto pain meds would have meant stopping breastfeeding. So they were giving me them and I was telling them that I was taking them, but I really wasn't. So on Christmas Day, I was sitting on my bed and I had my feet crossed and my knees up. And from the weight of my kneecap, my shin bone snapped while I was feeding Summer. And that's when I decided that I had to start the pain meds, which meant I needed to stop breastfeeding. My entire role, like for that first week, I had it down pat, and then all of a sudden I was in crutches. Everyone was doing everything for me, and the only thing that I felt like I had as her mum was breastfeeding with her. That was the only thing that defined me as her mother at the time. Even to today, like, I struggle a lot with my role with her. Because especially through that first, series of treatment, there were times where I was toxic to touch my baby, and just to basically sit and watch from the sidelines. On one hand, it's like, I'm so grateful that I have these people in my life that are giving up their time to love my baby like their own. But on the other hand, it hurts so much because I want to be that person. And with Mum especially, like, I could see that it was like Summer thought that Mum was her mum. And that was really hard because I didn't want to be resentful. Like, I was grateful that Mum would be that giving to do, night feeds and work on top of it and look after the house and look after me and just completely sacrifice her life. And I felt somewhat bad that I had to keep myself in check to not be jealous that she had that relationship with my daughter that I wanted. So I started my actual chemo on the 2nd of January in 2018. I had 3 forms of chemotherapy. In the first week of the cycle, I had 1 day of doxorubin. The next day I had doxorubin again. I then also had cisplatin, and then the following day cisplatin again. And then they would give me methotrexate. I had to stay in hospital. They'd administer it on a Monday and I would live in hospital till the Friday, be back in again on the Monday and do that 5-day cycle again. That was one cycle over the 5 weeks. So I did 2 full rounds of those chemos, and then my surgery was on the 16th of March 2018. They have removed my shin bone from here, and all of it, all the way up, is metal. I have a knee replacement as well. And then I don't know whether it's for shits and giggles or whatnot, but apparently they then were like, well, let's do the femur. So it's about up to here with the femur. The whole calf has been taken through, and literally all that I have there now is the calf muscle. I like have this thing where it's like it was a dream, but as soon as we were getting wheeled out of theatre, I remember saying, do I still have my leg? And they said, yep, you got both legs. And then I just blacked out. I don't remember anything else. You'll be able to see here, this big scar, that's where they went in. And they have taken the tendon from these 3 toes. They've fed it through here. So they've like relocated it. And then this one here is where they cut through to extend the Achilles tendon, because that had shortened up because I hadn't used my foot. I think I had 6 weeks roughly of chemo, and I was supposed to complete another 4 rounds. And it was just getting worse and worse after each one. And my liver was failing. My heart was, like, they were worried that I was going to end up with a heart condition. I was constantly being hospitalised for being neutropenic, where your entire immune system is void and a simple cold can kill you. But I finished the one in June, and I turned to my oncologist and I said, I can't do it. Like, I genuinely feel if you do one more that will kill me. And yeah, it was the weirdest feeling. Mum and I were like high-fived and like hugged each other like we did this. And I took like 5 steps down the hall and just broke down. Like, it was just such a holy fuck, what's just happened? Like, I can't believe it's over. Boo! Boo! What's the colour, Summer? Blue.
As far as I see, and I'll just open up the diagram. Remove blood from the patient, get the T cells, the killer cells, get genes, so they're actually using the genes from the tumor. They put that in contact with the T cells. Then they grow millions and millions of these modified T cells, and then they're infused like a blood infusion back into the patient. And then these T cells will go out and target the cancer that will destroy it.
Shit. Oh. That's so cool.
I found a very easy diagram.
Yeah.
Actually shoot that to you.
At this point, I'm now 29 years of age, and Summer is a whopping 20-month. She's a toddler, she's hectic. It's been 1 year since I've been in remission, and the cancer has returned. I've got secondary lung cancer in both lungs. So I was sitting in a cafe with a girlfriend who I hadn't seen in years, and I seen a number, like an 07 number, pop up on my phone. I was like, oh, I'll get it after. It was about like 15 minutes later, I looked down and there was like 4 missed calls from the number. I'm like, called him back, and it was the PA hospital. And he's like, we found something in your remission scans, you need to get a CT scan straight away. She's like, so they found 2 spots, 1 in either lung. And they just explained that, yeah, they're, by the shapes and everything, that it is a secondary off the initial. So they can the only thing that they can do is, firstly, they need to cut out sarcomas, because otherwise it spreads like wildfire. After that, they can give me chemotherapy. Well, they've already told me that these cells were immune to chemotherapy, so logically, I'm not going to do the chemotherapy because that just doesn't make sense. But it's the only thing that they have to offer. So the oncologist was straight up with me. They said, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of survival doing this. 9 times out of 10, you'll see reoccurrence of cancer throughout your body every 3 to 4 years. Pretty much any side effect you could have had with the chemo, I managed to get. And I kind of said to myself that I'd never do it again. Well, either A, I can try and do what they're saying and I'll die. B, I can do what they're saying and I don't die and I live, but then I get it back again every 3 to 4 years. I don't want my daughter growing up being scared of which day is mummy gonna get sick. And I'm like, okay, well, would it be best to maybe just like tap out now where she's still young, that she won't remember, rather than have her growing up watching me as sick as I was? And I didn't want that pain put on my daughter, because it's that kind of stuff that a child will never forget. So I think at that point I decided I'm not going to do the treatment at all. My brother Nathan put me on to this gut health specialist he was doing some work for the past 3 decades. He's been sending people, whether it's to Germany, Switzerland, Mexico, China, where they actually have treatments that can kill these diseases for once and for good. He has cases that he was telling us about where, you know, a terminal brain tumour and it's gone, melanoma all down the neck and it's gone. I know that it will sound stupid to certain people, but do you know what sounds even more stupid? Having my daughter at an age where she can see me suffer and do the same thing again that didn't work the first time. Because I gave it everything the first time and it still didn't work.
You're all good, bub. Come on. Hop up. Good girl. Oh, there we go. Off you go.
So yeah, moving forward, I'm going to continue to document the journey, looking at things like traveling, like I guess health-wise, and going over to China. Obviously, I'm sharing this firstly because I want my daughter to be able to see that I have chosen to fight for her. Well, I'm the person that has done the conventional medicine and it did not work. And so now I feel like I would be the crazy person if I tried that again. So let's try the non-conventional way. And at least you can come along and see what that is like. It may give other people hope to try something different. If you're choosing to fight and you're choosing to do the alternative therapy, you need the money to do it. It's expensive. It's around $100,000 to do the treatment. I want to, like, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you for the people who have already donated. There's so many people that I know and so many of you who I do not know. Moving forward, to anyone who is able to donate, know that it's so appreciated, not only from me, but, you know, from my daughter and my family as well. If you're able to help, I would beyond appreciate that. I just want to see my daughter grow up, and I don't want her to miss out on her mum. That's it.